How's it going? Hope you're having a great day. And I just want to start off by thanking Noisebox Research on YouTube. So, these webcams I bought early in the year for these types of videos. And I watched a lot of different webcam videos when I was researching which ones to buy. And I went with the Razer Kio. I actually don't remember how to say it. And I love these cameras. If you noticed within these book videos, there's some focus hunting on the, especially within the book. Like I'm not moving too much, so I'm usually okay. But sometimes there'll be some focus hunting and that type of thing within the book. Usually, I'll notice it and wait for it to focus when I'm talking about it and stuff like that. It's not the end of the world, but it would do it often, and it is slightly annoying. And also, the exposure on my face was always blown out, and this is something I could actually adjust with more with my overhead lighting if I want to change things even further. So when I bought the cameras, everyone that I was at least watching at the time had shown that you can't change the settings with a Mac with these cameras, but with a PC you could. And it is what it is, and I just went with it because I like the quality of these webcams compared to the other ones. And when I was using them in the past, this one has the most clean looking image for just a basic webcam when it comes down to it, without having to buy like a Sony interchangeable lens camera or something like that, or a high end compact point and shoot or something like that. I wanted it to be simple, and also inexpensive. As it was a nice thing to be a part of as well, especially because I wanted two cameras. And so I went to fire up this video, and I was just like, man, I wonder if there's something I can do. And I was messing with the OBS, which is what's used to record these videos within the Mac, and it just doesn't work with when things are blown out. When it's just too bright, you can't really fix it in OBS. And I was like, let me do some research again to see if there's something. And the Razer app still doesn't recognize these cameras on a Mac. And so I was just like using keywords, looking around to see if I could find anything. And just typing in Razer webcam, not specifically this camera, but just webcam, I found a video from 2 years ago, basically, talking about downloading this app in the App Store for Macs. And it's it wasn't too expensive. It's $7.99, and it actually allows you to control the cameras, which is insane because pretty much everything I was seeing before was just saying it was not capable of doing that. So I just messed with it a little bit, and the crazy things, you can actually change the cameras to manual focus. So you're not going to have any focus hunting at all because now it's just in focus and it's not going to change, which is amazing. Same thing with exposure. I was able to change the exposure. So this is very clean looking image now, and it's not going to hunt. So I'm really excited to move forward on these books, even more so just because the quality looks even better. And yeah, I'm just hyped on that. I just wanted to talk about that and give a shout out to Noisebox Research on that video. I definitely want to make, because it was like a whole setup video, and I want to make just a very simple like set set manual focus and manual exposure on this type of and this specific webcam, and just make that video for people researching it. Because I looked a bunch when this came out, and obviously I watched reviews of this webcam, and no one that was reviewing this talked about this app for Macs at all. So I want to make a short little kind of video showing it, explaining it, and obviously I'm gonna give a shout out to her as well for her video. And yeah, it's just amazing. So yeah, definitely better looking book videos going forward. So I'm hyped for that. So let's get into William Eggleston, Volume 9, The Forest. There's 10 volumes. We're almost at the end of this series. And so The Forest, it's classic Eggleston. Like the forest is just like, signs everywhere, buildings everywhere, just, you know, I think when he says the forest, it's just like a clutter of stuff. I do love this cover. The Pepsi sign is awesome. I'm always a sucker for classic Pepsi logos. But yeah, so we're going to pick the top five as usual. I'm going to start off with page 17, and I want to talk about page 17 at the end of this video as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. But we're going to start off at page 17. See, look at that. No focus hunting. Look at this colors. That was another thing too. You can change this saturation. It just looks, I mean, this looks so good. I am hyped. So yeah, I love this photo. Um, there's some crazy, I don't want to get too like nuts, but like, maybe they're coming up after this. I'm not even sure. There's like this era, this time period. There was just signs everywhere signs, little signs, big signs, giant signs, freaking, they're everywhere. I think this was just like, hey, let's advertise to people driving on the road, so everything turned into an advertisement. And if you really think about it today, it's not so much. Like when you really think about it, when you're driving down the roads, you don't really see it like how it used to be. There's not like tiny little signs everywhere, and it easily could be. But yeah, so this one is awesome. It is chaos, and that's why I like it. You got the weird sign, you got the circles, phone booth, awesome. The truck, I don't know, little cool things, and we're gonna talk about that more. This area of the photo later in the video. So, next page here is 25. This one is awesome just because I love the tones, like the colors. They all kind of have their own. The blue car just kind of pops out a little bit. Just because it is a different color than all these like types of reds and dark reds, and I think this is kind of like a brown almost. But the way the color looks, it kind of just is a nice, like it's brighter, and the kind of like even over in here it gets a little darker. So it's this nice little like fade off to a darker vibe than over here, which is pretty cool. Obviously, the guy in here is awesome. I like him a lot. This is a cool photo. I just like the plain truck. Good vibes on this one. Page 44. This one's rad. Just there's a lot not going on and a lot going on at the same time. I just love like the lines is really good. The reflections. You get the signage. You got the rad cars. I mean, it's just that. Is always just cool with Eggleston's photos. He's always conscious of cars. And I'm trying to always remind myself that even though today's cars are today's cars, maybe in 40 years they'll look interesting to people in 40 years. It's always hard to think that because, it seems like, I mean, even when you look at these photos, I mean, these cars are similar. So maybe there'll be a full-on type of evolution of redesigned cars in 40 years, and cars from this time will just look interesting. I don't know. So, I remember thinking that when I first started shooting photos, and I don't know if I don't think really much has changed, in the past like 20 years, close to 20 years. But yeah, so like this one, I set up page 44. Oh no, we're on 44. Page 59. Like this one, for quite a while, it's been many years now, I've been trying to photograph the flag, the United States flag. Whenever if I see one, I just photograph it. It's something I've just done. It may turn into a project someday. It's just something I don't know when that really started. I'd say it's been a solid, I don't know, 6 years maybe more, maybe less, somewhere in there. That I've, whenever I see one, I'm trying to, just take photos of it, regardless of what's going on. This one's cool. This one kind of speaks to me, and I like just like sale stuff, like not like things on sale, but like this kind of reminds me of like even though it's not one, when I see it, it reminds me of like a resale shop or something like that. It just has like the boxes, sale sign. It's just kind of cool. It has that vibe of like, you know, that just resale shop vibe, even though it's like it's not that. Just good vibe. I like the color of the car. It matches along with the rest of the stuff. I like having the full windows in there. Yeah, not too much to say about it. Just dig it. Flag is something I wanted to talk about for sure. And let's hit up page 83. This is photo number 5, but we're gonna have a bonus conversation after that one. Let's see, page 83. Yeah, I did want to talk about this. So, this photo here, this is just what he's probably, the forest. There's just a lot going on. The photo itself, I like it. It's not, crazy or anything like that. But I wanted to talk about. I want to start thinking of having, shooting out into things. I do like this whole vibe. I like this photo a lot. It's not something that you just like show it to someone like, "Oh, that's so crazy," But it's something that makes you look, and to see what's going on. And I want to start doing this more with like alleys, windows. I talked about that in the last one, where you're looking out of like I don't know if it's a diner or something like that, looking out, and I think there was one looking out a window. Like, I want to start focusing on that a bit more, for sure, going forward, with my own photography. All right, so let's go to page 103. This is bonus talks. Those are 5 photos I selected. I want to talk about here in volume 9. We're gonna get into the bonus conversation here. Let's go to page 103. Now see if you notice anything. I won't even say anything at first. So I'm assuming you'll first think, oh, I remember that sign, Wilson, cool. And I mentioned the truck. Here's the truck. So I think early on in this series, the Democratic Forest series, I talked about where you can kind of get a sense of him, like him shooting throughout the day. And if you look, there's there's somewhere real obvious that it's by each other certain pages, but you can find this throughout the series. I just wanted to talk about it in this one, just because I just like wanted to look back to see if this was the same day, because it's in a whole different part of the book. This is page 103. It was page 17 where this photo was. So it's kind of like just kind of put in the back. I don't know if it is just kind of extend the book out, because it doesn't really make. It doesn't really make too much sense to separate it. And I also thought what was interesting too is just like the editing is a lot different as well. Like this one looks like it's just straight up. This one looks like there's some post, which I don't mind that. I'm just saying. This is better. I think the lighting situation, saturation situation, is better on this one. And it could just be different. This could have been, just exposure was bad and then brought up. But who knows? Who knows? I do think, I could be completely wrong, but really looking through these and picking a 5 and, 5 photos throughout this series, I feel like, and I could be wrong and whatever, I feel like there's a decent amount of stuff that is underexposed and then brought back up. I could be completely wrong. That's just the vibe I get. Again, nothing wrong with it. It's just an observation. I do like these little, there's a little Pepsi bottle, a Mountain Dew bottle in there. I'd like that you can see that in here. Again, I actually think it would have just been cool to, I like that truck. Let's go back to 17 here. Actually, I would think it would be cool to just put the other photo over here. Like, just have it by each other. I don't get the separation. Just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, it's cool though to see, like, it's 2 angles. Obviously, I think this one's way better, like way, way better. But it's just cool, like, okay, you took this photo, or, vice versa, walked around, shot another one. You know, it's cool to see that process that, you know, and that's why I think like when you that classic quote where he says like I only shoot one photo of one thing. It's probably, you know, that could be true, but it's like this is the one photo of the one thing, and then he moves. It's the same location, but then that's the one photo of that one thing. But classic stuff in this one, you know. I think it just represents a lot of signage. Like this is kind of what I'm talking about, like signage everywhere, chaos. I dig it. Eggleston's the goat. We all know it. And so the next one is gonna be Volume 10. We're gonna be finally wrapping up on the Democratic Forest set here, and then we'll go on to some other photographers. I know this series has taken some time, so we'll move on to some other photographers before we get back into more Eggleston work. I think the next series will be the Los Alamos series. It's only 3 volumes, but they're bigger, so maybe we'll talk about more photos within those books. And but yeah, so I want to thank you for tuning in to Volume 9. I hope you like this non-hunting focused situation. I hope the lighting looks good for you, a lot better. I'm hyped. I appreciate your support. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.